What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Let me introduce you to Gash Nasty. There he is right there. Enter the Gash. He's kind of shiny, though. He's a little bit blinding whenever I take him out into nature, and so I've been avoiding it for right now. That took forever. Oh my god, that was an experience. I watched like 3 episodes a turn before he was done. I had to sit there for a while. I went out and I farmed some Triceratops for a while. I don't know. Chopped some trees for a while. It got difficult to actually fill the time in. I actually went out on an adventure and just sort of like lost my raptors out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't put it on film because obviously people would just roll their eyes and be like, so you got lost, that's what you did. And I was like, yep, pretty much. I got lost for a hell of a long time off camera. It was ridiculous. But now we have a Carnotaur, and I am terrified to lose him because of how goddamn long it took to tame his ass. And honestly, I tried everything too. There will be those people in the audience who are going to be like, well, why didn't you use prime steaks or whatever? I looked everywhere. There's nothing around here but a Spinosaurus that gives prime steaks. So unfortunately, I looked around for the little Sarcos. I looked around for just about everything that could be turned into prime steaks, and there's nothing on this island chain. Like, you're basically stuck, and so we had to do it the old-fashioned way. It used up so many little steaks. It took a while. I think it used up like 40, 50, or 60 meat. It was in there somewhere. It was somewhere in the multiplicative stacks of 20. Ah, kitten, stop that. My kitten's licking my foot right now. That is better than what he normally does, though. Typically, he's a tad more bitey than one might expect. So, in today's episode, I need to find my way home. I don't even know where I am right now. You know this thing's called Weathertop over here? If you look at the files for the game. His footsteps terrify me, by the way. I keep forgetting that he's right behind me. And then I hear like the bakoosh, bakoosh, bakoosh. And I think that something's about to run up on me. I don't even know if I want that over there. It might have blueprints. Maybe I should go check it for blueprints, just in case. So I found out when you hit level 60 in single player, at least this is what somebody told me. I don't know if it's true or not. So 2 things. I talked about them in the previous episode. So one guy had told me that I talked to that when you hit level 60 in single player, it automatically unlocks all the engrams for you. And so that's pretty badass. If that's not true, it doesn't matter because there's a cheat console command I can use when we hit level 60 that'll allow me to have all the engrams. So that'll be fine for keeping our single player going. Access crate. We got a spyglass, 16 trank arrows. Oh my god. That's loot right there. 16 trank arrows alone saved me a bunch of time. That's the equivalent of like 80 narco berries and a whole bunch of meat. Like, seriously, that's the sort of thing that happens and actually like changes the outset of a playthrough. So we got ourselves, I farmed out arrows for a while. I mean, I did a lot of stuff to kill time while we were working on that Carno. Can I find my way home, please? I would love to go home. Please take me in. Oh, I'm way off on the other side of the island, aren't I? Okay, well, let me jump onto here. I'm just gonna run in a direction until I figure out where we're going. Also, I'm gonna ram into a turtle for a second. Damn you, glowing map. Damn you and your glowiness. It's probably back this way, I think. So if I go this way, we might make it, I think. I'm not so sure. Ah, there we go. Kitten's climbing my leg. I was expecting it. He's awake right now, so if you've never had like a puppy or a kitten, they go through cycles. Like, they cycle in between being slightly unconscious and then being super, super conscious, and they run around destroying shit for like an hour and a half. I've been trying to train him to not do it, but unfortunately, he is rebellious. He's got a mind of its own, and it takes a little bit to get him there. I want to go home right now so that we can build our forge. You remember that thing we started out doing, and then it just, like, never got accomplished? I.e. the building. There we go. Now I've got the right direction. This is how I navigate in this game. I sort of just, like, pick a random direction and go in it. I should have known better that I was going the wrong way. What is that right there? Oh, another Spinosaur. I told you there's a couple of them on our island. That's a completely separate one right there. That Spinosaur is in a spot that I actually had not charted. There's a Spinosaur over there. There's a Spinosaur in the water over there. I'm still not confident in our ability to take him out. So I had looked at actually trying to take on a Brontosaurus for a little bit, but I had wussed out of it. There was one Brontosaurus on our island, and I thought about killing him for the prime meat so that I could make the train go a little bit faster, but I ultimately decided to back off of it just because I looked at their stats, and it looks like he does 60 damage a hit. All of our raptors have about 600 HP, and so I got nervous about it. I felt like with 60 damage a hit, that's only 10 hits. Get yourself into some real trouble right there if you're not careful. Raptors should be able to take these guys no problem, so let's get them all nice and lined up. Please don't kill my Carno. It would be great if you would not do that. I'm going to try and get in behind this guy right here. Just deal a little bit of damage, and you guys can eat your fill as much as you want. I'm going to try and harvest a little bit with the Scorpion, because I know he is hungry right now. So if we could get that, yeah, he's at half right now. And so let me go ahead and get him all nice and filled up. There we go, and then we'll eat this trike over here real quick, too. I was hoping that I wasn't hitting my Carno with my tail right there. He's kind of big, and my My scorpion gets stuck underneath him all the time. At least that's what the scorpion keeps on. I'm just totally stuck right now. I'm not doing anything underneath this Carnotaur, I swear. It's not what it looks like. Nope, kitty. You can't go up there right now. He's getting very, very good at climbing random things. Like, seriously, for such a little animal, it's amazing the vertical hops he has at this point. He's gotten so much bigger, too. Like, I'm constantly amazed at the rate at which this little guy has just grown up. Like, seriously, within 2 or 3 weeks, he's doubled in size. He's tenacious now. Like, he used to always hang around my ankles like he wouldn't go anywhere. And now he goes out all on his own. He doesn't, like, you don't have to babysit him anymore, for example. You can leave him in the living room with a bunch of toys. He'll entertain himself, like, for half the day before he comes and checks to see where you are. Occasionally, he gets scared, so he'll sit there and be like, "Rah!" and, like, lose his shit trying to figure out where you are. But it's a lot less free. Like, before, he never less, like, he had to be within eyeshot of me when I first got him. Now he's getting a lot more independent, and I like that. It looks like that was mate boosted, right? Oh, no. Well, that's not good. Did we get them all? Okay, that's the one thing that I was actually really, really paranoid about. Our Carnotaur only has like 300 HP, and so a pack of raptors would really, really whoop him up. Let's take a look at him real fast. Yeah, so you see right there, he's already at really low health. So with 420 health, I need him to be up way higher, especially given the fact that he's a big target, and that means that everything that's striking in like a small area is probably going to hit him first. I'm still beefing up the raptors for right now. I've got them almost up to 1,000 health apiece. But some of them are dithering behind because I think they're newer to the group. Who else is in here? Anybody else ready to... Okay, so I think we're actually... It's odd the way that the thing is represented because... Well, how do I want to say this? It's odd the way that their levels are represented because it'll say that they're like level 23, but when you train them, that taming efficiency thing that I was talking about, the taming efficiency determines how much of their stats they keep. I think that's a level 35 one over there, the yellow one, and the purples are like level 45. Where am I at right now? Let's take a look at this map. Oh. Wait, what? It says that we're really close. So where's my house? I don't know. I'm so lost right now. I'm so lost with that. I guess I could go over there and take a look and see if it's something that I could harvest. But if it isn't... If it's not, I think... What level am I? 27? So yeah, I don't even think it's worth it to go over there. Not even worth it to go over there. I keep hoping that I'll eyeball the spot that I'm shooting for. I think it's over here somewhere. I am very, very lost. So instead of wasting like an entire episode trying to figure out where my house is, I'm going to find it on my own. We've had a little chat. We've done our intro. Once I get to the house, we've actually got some building to do today. We want to make the smithy. We want to start working on some of the metal that's laying around our base. And once we get there, here, let me turn on the light for you. And so once we get there, I think it's going to be a suitable time for us to start the episode back up again, okay? I will see you in several minutes. Home again, home again. We have a missing dinosaur. Bolosaurus Flex was supposed to be with us, and I think I lost him somewhere. So, if you see anything pop up, we'll probably find him while wandering around the island. He's near our base somewhere. He's, like, over there somewhere. I would almost guarantee it. He'll be okay. He's, like, level 12 or something. Hopefully no raptors come along and decide he looks delicious. I need Bolosaurus Flex so that I could farm Narcosaur. I'm sorry, so that I could farm. I almost said Narcosaurs. I'm like, well, they like sleeping a lot. Then they like ratting people out. But anyways, I needed those to farm Narco Berries, so it's a little bit of a letdown. But what are you going to do about it at this point? So we needed to make ourselves a smithy. So let's have a look here. Let's figure out exactly what we need for said smithy. We needed 125 stones. My God, that's going to be heavy. Okay, so for 125 stones, we are not taking this far. Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to more or less kind of like lock us down. And so since I don't know... I guess I could put them in there. So let's take them, we'll move them. I gotta kind of like piggyback these back and forth, unfortunately, since you can't do incremental building. And so now that those are over there, we would step to like here. Let's take the stones out. I'm trying to get them spaced out so that they're as far away from like all the other stuff as possible. And so now that we have our craftables, there's our refining forge right there. We craft that. That's going to take 125 stone off. Hopefully it's a lot lighter than the initial objects. We can only pray for that. We're still carrying 138 with us, which is a little bit heavy, but I think if we go back to our inventory, we should still have a lot of stones remaining, and so that should take off some of it. It looks like it weighs 4. So where's the excess of that weight coming from, by the way? We got a whole bunch of stone arrows here. I'll probably just keep one stack with me. We got a spyglass. We got a couple of parachutes. I don't know what we would use the parachutes for, aside from maybe some Just Cause type action when we're running around. These leggings and everything like that, I haven't been wearing them because they got broke when I was fighting with the Carnotaur, and so we'll need the smithy before we can fix those. However, I do have about 60 metal farmed up. It took a while to get it, and it was quite dangerous. It took almost an entire stream for me to lock that down. I got myself into a lot of trouble. Got a spyglass that I don't see myself using very often. And then the rest of the excess weight has got to be coming from something in here, but I always have trouble finding it. Oh, we're carrying around 87 weight right now, and I'm not sure what from, because that'll only take us down a little bit. How many specimen implants do I have? My God, I have so many. Yeah, I'm thinking that possibly, let's take as much of this as we can. I'm going to put these in the go box over here. One of these is kind of like my equipment box, and I can't remember which one it is. Inventory management with Splattercat. I suppose it'll be this one then, won't it? And so we'll go through. Throw that in there. There we go. We'll also consider throwing the chitin armor in there, even though most of it is intact. I just kind of want it out of my inventory until I have everything rounded out. We still got the hide boots and everything, so we'll use that when it's available. Refining forage, you're up next, so we'll go to number... Now, I had to make, if you're wondering why I can't fire... Oh, that's way more little than I thought it was. Does this have to go inside? Oh, it has to go inside. Okay, so that's cool. I guess we'll put it right here. Seems good to me. Looks nice. I mean, we're not going to have anything to get rid of the smoke, I suppose. We should probably build, like, a chimney or some way for it to vent itself so that we don't, like, suffocate ourselves on random fumes. But for right now, our lungs will just have to suffer. This is a survival situation, so we need wood, thatch, or spark powder. Well... we have quite a bit of spark powder, but I'd rather keep it for gunpowder once we start getting guns. I think instead what I'll do is let's go out here. We'll see if we can track down a couple of... oh, that scared me for just a second. Any dinosaur out in the mist makes me nervous. We'll track down some wood very, very quickly. Ah, getting wood in the dark. It's just like the 8th grade all over again. We'll get this over here. We'll grab this. Oh, there's a blue one over there. That might be worth my time as well to go and investigate. Lest we find ourselves... I think the firearms start to pop out of like the... we broke our hatchet. Hold on. Gotta wait till that's all done. But yeah, it might be worth it to go down there and check that out too. Maybe bring an escort with us just in case. I don't want any of our good dinosaurs to die. But before we go down there, I'm just gonna hope that it holds, because what I want to do is I want to start smelting the metal before we go over there so that we're not wasting our time staring at the forge. And so our next quest will be... we'll go down there, we'll get the blue spot, we'll see if we can get some new stuff out of it. Once that's all done and taken care of, it looks like we're actually running out of food right now. Food and water. I don't think I have a whole lot of stuff on me. The reason being is because Bolosaurus Flex had it. So we're going to need to go down and get water too very, very soon. That's okay though. We got plenty of flagons. Hey, go inside. I demand that you walk over that ridge. What's going wrong here, and why am I having to duck through my own door? That's weird. Not sure what occurred right there, but let's get this forge all nice and fired up. I guess literally fired up. That's probably where the saying came from. Where did the wood go? There it is. 53 wood. That'll do it. Light that thing. You're hot. You should find a place to cool on down. It's too hot. Hot damn. Let's see. We needed the metal, which I think is in this chest. There's our 59 metal. Luckily enough, that doesn't seem to have overweighed me, so I'll run back on in. I like how with the hide pants, you wear your underwear over the top of the pants. Superman style. Makes me happy. Access the inventory. Hopefully we'll be able to get some charcoal out of this beezy too. Let's make ourselves some metal. I know that we can't craft anything that's made out of metal just yet, but once we can, we have engram points. I suppose we could go after it. Engram points! I think what I wanted to invest in right now, we'll go metal pick, metal hatchet. That's 28. That's going to be 44. So we can't learn the metal pike just yet. The Carbonemus saddle I'd probably wait on for right now. The water reservoir might be useful. I mean, it's kind of a cool object. I guess we could go in on the metal pick. We'll go in on the metal hatchet. That leaves us with 13 points. We're right next to a water reservoir already, so I don't see any reason for us to spend a bunch of points on that. The compass might be nice, but that's more of a creature comfort, especially considering we can navigate by just like going through things. We don't need spike walls because we're not dealing with random marauders or anything like that. We already have the smithy, so I wasn't aware that we had spent points on that. Where's the smithy at for crafting? So the smithy requires metal ingots, a whole bunch more stone. Luckily, we have 50 of that. So we need wood on top of that. So let's go get 30 more wood. I think that on this side right here, we have 19 that's up inside of a box. We've got 17 stone right there, and then we have a remainder on that side. Let me take one of the swifter raptors right here. And then we'll take them on down to the surface. The darker one, this raptor right here, I don't know what its name is. Cash Nasty, it's the fastest out of the group. So all the other ones are slower. I don't know if they all come with different like integers that determine their initial speed, but I went through and I had to test them out a little bit ago, and some of them are definitely faster. This one and I think the orange one. So remember, you want the black and orange ones if you're trying to go fast in this playthrough. Those are the two that you want. It's pretty cool because that's the color of like some of the teams around here. So anyways, I don't know, it's thematic for me. It's thematic, the Bengals or whatever. That tends to be their colors, black and orange. Let's jump down into the water. We'll get ourselves taken care of. There shouldn't be any Spinosaurs or any other major hazards right here. There it is. We'll fill on up. Our water skins, they leak, unfortunately. And so I don't want to use those anymore. Instead, what I'd like to do is we have a water jar. I crafted this water jar. Or no, I found it like inside of a... I did something. I don't remember where I got this from. I found it somewhere. So we're just going to carry that from now on. And then we're going to ditch the water skins. So we'll... take those, put them in our inventory. I don't really want to carry around water skins anymore, so we'll drop them. There we go. And so now that we have the water jar, that clears out our hotbar a little bit. I don't know how much water it allows us to store, but I assume at least 2 or 3 fill-ups because it weighs 5 pounds. And so, you know, 2 or 3 fill-ups worth of, like, water. How many waters does a fill-up hold? I don't know. Bring me Phillip! And let us fill him with water and see how much we get out of it. Our Carnotaur standing badass up on the hill. So with the Carnotaur, we're faced with a little bit of a quandary because I need to level him up and I need him to be stronger, but he's also kind of fragile right now, which makes me nervous about using him. I want him to have at least 2,500 health before we stop and start working on his ability to hurt. And so with Gash Nasty... he's sitting at 534, and he just took a poop, so I don't know how that affects his HP, but I assume it affects something. Let's go ahead and get all you guys to follow me. With you, I'm going to disable following. With Big Boss Slash, we jump up on here. People have asked why I prefer to use the Scorpion while I run around, and so I'm going to answer that question right now. I use the Scorpion, actually, because the Scorpion is just easier to... Actually, I don't need to do this right now. Instead, what we needed to grab was wood, so that once the metal is out... Did I put the metal in the forge, or did I screw that up already? I must have, right? Well, I assume the metal works the way that I think it works, and so it's inside the forge right now. Hopefully it'll get done soon. Let's chop down all of our shade, because when you have a jungle hideaway, obviously you want to sit in the sun all day and sweat off as much of your hydration as possible. Hydration is pretty important. If you're in a hot environment, you should always account for at least 2 liters or a gallon of water a day. 2 liters might not even be enough. If you're going with the metric system, I'd say go with 3 liters just to be super safe. But yeah, a gallon of water. I've actually drunk 2 gallons. I had a day where I did a field survey that was in a swamp where there was basically like maximum humidity and it was about 95 degrees and you're up to knee deep in hot water all day. And it was a miserable experience, and I drank 2 gallons of water between 8 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon on that little adventure. But watch out. It's amazing how much water you can go through. And in fact, I ran out of water before I went back to camp on that one. And so I had to hike back about 2 miles in that heat with no water. And 2 gallons is vastly more than I ever expected to go through. And I didn't pee at all that day either. That tends to be how you tell by how much you pee while you're out in the field. And I peed, I think, 1 time off 2 gallons of water while out in the sun. It's amazing how much your hydration can suffer when you're out there. It just sucks the fluids out of you. And not in the pleasurable way. Let's go off to this side. We've got rocks in here. Okay. The next thing I want is a smithy. Oh, yeah. We don't have any metal. We are lacking in the metal, so it must be kind of like a grunge phase out here. Let's go back over here. I'm going to tell you guys to camp for a second because they get a little bit screwy whenever I try to go in my house. How long does this take? Oh, wow. That goes really quick. Okay. I was expecting it to be some kind of like psychotically long experience, but it looks like it's doing all right. I like our house as it sits right now. I would like to expand it out a little bit more, and I'd like to make like a dino preserve. Basically a place where I could park all my dinos of varying types. So for example, like down on the beach, I would have my Carno exhibit. Up here, I would have all my herbivores because this is where I farm herbs and things like that. I need the stones. There they are. And so we got the smithy right there. It takes 50 stones to make a smithy. Why, I'm not really sure. Maybe we need... I have no idea. I was going to try and like come up with some weird thesis as to why we need that much, but I got nothing right now. I got nothing. I think it's also going to be important that we make an away base right next to, if you take a look at the map, I think you press the P key to do this. So anyways, now that I got my mouse cursor back, we need to make an away camp like right here. like a beta base, basically. We have our alpha home. We need a beta base out here. I would also suggest maybe making one a little bit further inland out here, because there are specific supplies I have to get. This is the closest place that I can get metal from, and so making a base out here with forges and smithies and things like that might allow us to relocate for a little while so that we don't have to worry about it. I don't know for certain, but I would like to build another base out here. I'll probably try and do it during one of the streams, and then I'll just label it as such once it's all nice and done up. But for right now, we need to go dino leveling while this is all done. I don't think we get to ride a Carnotaur to like level 50, so that's not something we even have to worry about for right now. Let me get all of you. Unfortunately, Lil Nasty, I need you just to hang out over here. Wimbledon, I need you to do the same. He's all ready for cuddles. Like, cuddle me! I'm like, sorry, buddy, I just don't have time right now. The cat's in the cradle with the Fiomia. I can't cuddle you because I gotta go kill. You gotta change the songs around to suit your purposes. I don't know if I should be bringing all these guys along with me, but I'm sure they'll be fine. I really like Gash Nasty. In fact, Gash Nasty, he's supposed to be about 9 meters tall. I don't know if that's 9 meters or not. I think he should probably be a little bit bigger. Assuming my character... Let's take a look at our character. Let's assume for a second. So a meter, I usually just count a meter as being like a little bit under a yard. So I'm just going to say 3 feet. I bet he's like 5 meters tall maybe, 6 meters tall. I don't know. I looked it up, and they're supposed to be 8 to 11 or 8 to 10 or something like that. And we don't know what the bony protrusions on their head were for. We have no idea right now. There have been theses along that way, but not really too sure. They think that he was a speed hunter, the Carnotaur. They think he was basically just like a bigger version of a raptor and a smaller version of a T-Rex. He ran things down, and he was actually a speed hunter, but he was like a little bit larger, so he had some push come to shove inside of him. I'd like to level up before we take that Bronto out over there. I'd like to tame a Bronto before we go too much further, because I'd like to play around with the mobile base building. And I need a creature that's capable of carrying around a few more things with me. One of the things that I'm very, very paranoid about is the fact that the bigger dinosaurs tend to get stuck. Even my raptors get stuck every now and again. Oh, he's got to take a poop. Hold on. There it is. Oh, did we level up or did our scorpion level up? Okay, so we'll give him a little bit more HP. Big Bull Slasher. He likes to get down. Big Bull Slasher likes to get down with the Zogan. You got to get it up in there. I think we already got everything that we needed from right there. I don't know. Go ahead and get rid of that trike too. I was going to tame that one, but I think if they could just kill off all these little critters down here, my scorpion's pretty hungry, and so if they want to feed, I also need to give a little bit of meat to the scorpion, because if you watch right now, look how quickly his food goes down when you lose stamina. It's actually pretty crazy trying to keep a scorpion fed. That might be due to the fact that I'm not giving him... Let's give him the spoiled meat. Let's see what happens right there. Give him the spoiled meat real fast, see if that does a little bit better. It actually looks like it gives him the exact same amount. The plus side on this bargain is that I don't need to kill stuff in order to get it. I can go straight through. Crowd surfing on my dinos right now. Gash Nasty, we'll get that off of there. If I can get myself, there we go. Get ourselves off to the edge. It's the wiggling tails that get you into trouble. Got a bunch of meat right there and a bunch of stones. We're actually carrying around quite a few goodies on these ones. Got 3 right there, some narco berries. Oh, you got the good stuff for me. Here, let me take those back real fast in case I need to feed myself in the near future. Or the far future, doesn't matter. Then what I'll try and do is use our backlog, because we have so many trank arrows anyways, use our backlog of spoiled meat to feed this guy so that I'm not using the fresh stuff. And then I'll worry about refining that a little bit later. And so, yeah, that should get his meter filled on up. But when you use up his stamina, it tends to go through meat very, very quickly. And it's not something that I enjoy. Go ahead and take care of that. We got way too many hides. I'm going to need some more meat so that I can make some more rotted meat, just in case we need to tame ourselves. I don't know, one of the random... We've got ourselves what I'd like to get in the future. Oh, they're going to get stuck on this wooden thing. Let's go ahead and kill the Dilo real fast. Well, they might not. They're a little bit big for it. Let's take a look at just a second. Go ahead and take that out. Once the Carbonemus has been handled, we'll get them going on some of these little guys right here. It shouldn't be too hard for us to kill a whole bunch of the dodos. They respawn on this side anyway, so I don't tend to worry about it. I'd like to make myself a dodo herd, but haven't done it. Have not done it. Basically, don't sprint. If you got yourself like one of the scorpions, try not to sprint while you're on top of him, because he tends to run out of stamina and food allotment very, very quickly. Alright, so we got that right there. I'll worry about the meat a little bit later. I would like to tame one of those eagles. I don't know how long it'll take, but the little guy here flying around things, I don't know, it makes me happy and I want one. We got ourselves another Bronto over here. That's pretty standard. As I recall, the Bronto is always off on this side. The blue beacon, I forgot about it. I feel like such a noob right now. since I'm playing the fool for the moment, I guess we'll just continue around the side of the beach. This is a little bit of a dead episode for me. We just need to like run around and level, and that's all that we're gonna do. I can fold some of that into the stream later. It's not gonna be like when this goes up, there's always confusion when I do this. But anyways, I'm recording this on a Friday, and so nonetheless, I'm gonna be streaming later tonight. And so I may try to fold it in right there. Let's work our way around the back. This Brontosaurus is remarkably just like non-responsive to the fact that a bunch of carnivores are running around behind him. I guess he assumes he's like, oh, it's all good, I know you. You only have like a thing for killing the three horns. Nobody likes the three horns anyways. They're kind of dicks. Nobody liked her in the Land of Before Time anyways. What was her name? Sarah? What was the name of the... Yeah, I think it was Sarah the Triceratops or something like that. It was Sarah. My memory's been failing me lately. I should probably get it checked out or something. My memory's gotten really, really bad lately. I've had trouble like remembering even the simplest things. I like to assume it's just because like my linguistic skills are going up, and so my brain is clearing out space because what I do all day, every day on the internet is just talk about randomness. And so I'm assuming my brain is allocating more space to talking and just like using up all the rest of the space. I can't prove it with science. That's what I'm going to call it for right now. We don't want to go down that way because there's a Spinosaur, and that'll get us into trouble. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brave the deeps right now, even though there may be megas around. No megas. I think we're looking pretty good. I tend to worry about megas more than I should. Why am I still walking backwards? Oh, really? This thing can back up? Wow, that's one of the few animals I've seen so far that can actually reverse itself. Got the Carnotaur through the lake, which is pretty good, our little lagoony area. Stuck underneath my Carnotaur again. Stuck underneath my Carnotaur. A likely story. We could get ourselves a pterodon, too. That's the other side of this argument. What I should do is I should go find a rescue party to go find Bolosaurus Flex. But he's off, like, in the jungle over there somewhere, and I'd rather do it in my free time before I do anything else. I got some poo over here. I haven't actually gotten started with any of the farming or anything like that just yet. It seems like miho berries or mijo berries or whatever. I call them miho berries because, I don't know, a lot of dinosaurs come from South America, so I figure the J is probably an H sound or something. I kill you, Dodo. I kill you because you look at me wrong. Off on this side, I'll probably try and jump the lake right here. But it's going to depend how many megas are out and in the water. It gets kind of deep and suspicious right there. I don't think I'm going to go for it. That's definitely looking like an eyebrow-raising experience. And so, given the fact that I'd like to keep the altitude of my facial accessories lower than normal, I think we're going to go inland a little ways before we cross. But yeah, there's still more Spinosauruses around here somewhere. Spinosauri. Probably not going to fight with them. I'm still not confident that we could take a T-Rex with our current team. We might lose somebody. We might lose somebody. If Bolosaurus Flex shows up, by the way, if we just see him around here, he's up and in there somewhere. I have no idea where he's going to be at. I'd like to go back to the area where Metal is at for just a second. Is that a Megalodon over there? That thing protruding out of the water? I need to do a head count and figure out where everybody's at. Why are you still walking right now? Here, go back into here. There you go. And before we do anything drastic, this is a pretty short crossing, so I think we should be able to do it without any problems. I'd like to go back and farm up some metal, and there were also amazing woolly mammoths in there, which were a big deal to me because I like woolly mammoths very much. When it comes to prehistoric animals, I like woolly mammoths a lot. And so A, we can hunt them and take their prime meat and then use it conceivably to get ourselves a T-Rex because those are over in that area too. Or B, we can just tame ourselves a mammoth, which sounds pretty awesome. This is basically going to be a little bit of a colonial mission right now. We'll do that whole, you know, Hail Britannia type thing. That's the only, like, colonial anthem that I know. The Hail Britannia, Britannia rule the world. That's, like, the only real colonial song that I know. And so that's the one that I'm going to invoke right now. Taking them through the forest is the safest route, but they tend to get stuck on all of these trees and whatnot, and there are predators in here. So, you know, watch out. You don't want to end up with the 3 dots on your shoulder being like, oh, shit. And then you're going to be that guy's like, and your head gets blown off by the shoulder cannon. Oh, there it is. Oh, it'd be so awesome if you could find predators in the jungle. We need this in a mod. We need xenomorphs, and we need predators. Yeah, this is not going to work. I can already see him getting stuck. We may have to go around the circumference of the island. The trees might be a little bit too thick for Gash. I'll try and keep a very, very close eye on all of them. So, yeah, Gash is getting stuck. I'm getting stuck. The tree line tends to get a little thick out here. Gash, let me see if I can find a different way for you to get up the hill. Come here, buddy. We'll go, if we have to follow the shore, we will, but the shore tends to have the most dangerous stuff due to the water supply and all that, so I try to watch out for it. There we go. We got Gash, and then it looks like Cash is stuck, though. one of the things that I continue to suggest is that they implement the system that's inside of MMOs, where I say it as much as I can in various episodes. So if you wonder why I'm repeating myself, you never know what episode when you're a YouTuber that the developers are going to see. But developers actually do watch a lot of YouTube videos. And in fact, I have reason to believe they have seen some of my videos. So anyways, developers tend to see your videos once your channel starts to get a little bit bigger because you get linked all over the place on Twitter. And so the reason why I repeat myself so much is just in the hopes that down the line a developer will hear it or see it and be like, yeah, that's a good idea. Now, if they've already heard it and discarded it, well, I guess that's that. But I'd like them to put the MMO system in where your dinosaurs actually teleport to you once they get out of your line of sight. They kind of just go bajoing, and it would solve a lot of the problems that you have in this game with dinosaurs getting stuck on stuff and constantly having to go back to find your pets. I guess we'll follow the circumference of the island. We don't really have them here. You get out of my way. I don't feel like dealing with you right now. That's a little bit tougher of a Carmademus, if I do say so myself. You go ahead and get some meat off this little guy. There we go. Something to feed the dino a little bit. Get 150 points. I'm looking for a reasonably safe incline that we can go up right here so that we can find our way to the metal zone. But I'm still seeing things in here that are going to be sketch for finding our way across. However, let me take a look at our locality. We need to cut north pretty... Actually, if we follow the beach, that's fine. The beach doesn't hurt us at all. I thought we needed to go across land, but no, actually, if we go inland, that's going to hurt our adventure here. I'm sorry if this is a bit of a boring episode, but I enjoy navigating and running around. And always, some people are like, oh, I don't like the travel episodes, but I do. Like, I'm one of those people that loves driving around and going on, like, road trips and things like that. So just, like, little times when we get to hang out together and explore our islands, and I don't know. It does something for me that I guess it must not do for anybody else, but I enjoy exploring and just kind of, like, running around and I guess dedicating to memory the locations that I'm in. Yeah, this is not going to happen, Raptor. I would like to get another couple Raptors, really sort of develop out the nasty crew, but now's not the time for that. I would suggest that they kill everything along the way. I'm not going to focus on looting any of it. We got the Spinosaur over there. Let me get some of these rocks out of the way very, very quickly because I don't think they're going to be able to bypass all of this. In addition, I do need some extra thatch while we're running around too, so... That Spinosaur is a little close. There we go. That's out of the way. Alright, so now that we have the Spinosaur out of the way, I love those red head feathers. Those are the greatest. Those little ginger feathers, I guess, that are hanging out on top of her head. Let's jump on into here. Spinosaur is a ways away. If you guys want to take the trike, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's a great way to get some freebie XP. They might be mate boosted, though, so we may want to throw our weight into this one a little bit. That one over there should be consumed very, very shortly. I'm going to throw a couple of stings out. And so there it is. We killed ourselves a couple of trikes. Ooh, please don't run out there and kill a Dilo. I would prefer it if you not. If the Dilo's out in the water, it looks like he's sitting tight right there. He's just enjoying his hot tub time. So I don't think he's going to bother us, but there is a fight going on over there in between Ankylosaurus and a T-Rex. I would like to get an Ankylosaurus. I heard they can break rocks with their tails, which would be really, really useful. For right now, we have a blind corner. I'm going to leave everybody behind right here for just a moment while I investigate the blind corner. Sometimes when you come around these corners, there's like 150 T-Rexes. And so I'd prefer to keep it safe. It looks like we got a raptor fighting with a stego over there. I think we're all right. I'm going to continue this journey in the next episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me as we go out and attempt to make our second colony base. I will see you all later. Hi do, everybody. This is Ark Survival Evolved. It's been a blast, and not of the painful deferring type. See ya.